Okay, today we're making egg rolls. We'll do sweet and sour sauce with it later on. Alright, let's do this. Here's what we have. Bok choy, Napa cabbage, red pepper, mushrooms. We've got over here parsley. We got to chop it. We've got pea pods. Here we got a bunch of pea pods. Scallions, ginger, garlic, and what else? Oh, and bean sprouts. Alright, now look, let me show you a little something here. This helps a little bit. When you get pea pods, this one end has a string on it. Okay, look, you pull that off. I don't know if you can see it or not. See that little piece of string? That's kind of tough. So if you break it like this and then pull it down, you'll get that little string out of there. And you know, that's what the good Japanese and Chinese cooks do. They don't want to give their guests any trouble chewing anything, so they pull that little string out. There's a good one there, you can see it. Alright. So I'm going to pull all these strings out of here. We've got a lot of pea pods. So we'll come back once I get all these things de-stringed. Alright, we got the pea pods cleaned. Look, the pea pods, this is optional. You know, I mean, you don't really have to do this. Here's the fiber that I took off of the pea pods. Now you might not even notice it. You know, I mean, the high-end Japanese and Chinese restaurants will take this off of the pea pods, but it's not something you have to do. What it does is it makes the pea pod, you know, 1 degree more tender. You know. All right. Now we're gonna saute. We're gonna start sauteing everything. The mushrooms. I bought mushrooms like this because they didn't have any individual mushrooms, and the only other ones they had were just big containers of them. I don't need a big huge container. I just need a little bit. Also, I was looking at shiitake and oyster mushrooms. But I gotta tell you, when you're buying this stuff in the store, in the regular grocery store, man, this shit is sky high, man. I mean, this Napa and bok choy cost me almost 10 bucks for this stuff. This crap is sky high. They just rip you off big time. Alright, so anyway, I just got regular mushrooms. They're gonna do. Forget the oriental mushrooms, the shiitakes, and the oyster mushrooms. Forget it. We're using just regular mushrooms. Alright, now what you want to do is definitely you want to chop them up small. Everything is going to be chopped up small in this. Also, after we saute everything, we have to drain it. If you don't drain everything thoroughly, what's going to happen is the egg roll shells, I mean the egg roll skins, are going to rip. So you have to chop them up small, saute it, and then drain it. Like I say, if you don't drain it, you're screwed. Alright, here, we're going to get these ready to go into the saute pan. Here, let me show you how to do a pepper if you want to chop it small. Here's what you do. You cut it sideways like this. Take off the sides. Alright, take off the bottom. Pretty much done there. Then what you can do is go this way on the pepper. You see, and you'll end up with a nice flat piece like that, which is very easy to cut into small pieces at this point. There you go. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, so if you start out small, you end up small. So just cut that off the pepper, slice it into end, pieces. Cut that, no, yeah, that's it. Very small. You want everything small. I suggest if you go to an Oriental market, you can probably buy all this stuff here at a reasonable price. The regular grocery store is nothing but a ripoff. I gotta tell you, man. It's a rip. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to saute the mushrooms first, alone, by themselves. The mushrooms, you want to caramelize a little bit, so you don't want to put anything else in there. On the pea pods, you're just cutting like this. You're just doing the pea pods. Short length, not long ways. And again, you want it small. Okay, the ginger, same thing. You want it small. Especially small on the ginger. You don't want to get a big hunk of ginger in your mouth. That's that'll wake you up. Small as you can go. Now, somebody was saying the other day that I should use a food processor. Well, I don't like them. I mean, yeah, they're good for some things, but for stuff like this, what's going to happen is a food processor is going to bruise everything. It'll chop it up, but it's going to bruise the hell out of it. And when you bruise it, you lose a lot of the water that's in it. And we don't want that. Alright, so there's the ginger. Nice and small. Garlic. We're going to put in the garlic press. We're going to just add that in with the ginger, the garlic. If you don't have one of these little doohickeys, go get one. They're cheap. And man, they're nice. They work. They pulverize this stuff into tiny little pieces. A lot smaller than you could cut it. Alright, there we go. Okay, we're going to chop a little bit of parsley. Just parsley. Alright, I think our saute pan is hot enough for the mushrooms. Not gas, so a lot. But that's how it goes. Go ahead. I could use sesame oil here. I know, sesame oil. Sesame oil is a bit too strong. I don't like it that much. Alright, we're going to take our peppers, pea pods, onion. Here's our onion. Again, very nice and small. That saute pan is talking to me. And it smells good. We want the mushrooms to caramelize. Okay, now on the bok choy and the napa. This is basically the bulk of the egg roll. And this stuff shrinks down to nothing. I mean, this stuff, you know, it's 90% water. So again, we're going to make them small. You don't want to deal with any big chunks of anything. Also, this cabbage has hardly any flavor at all. It's mostly water. Same thing with bok choy, this stuff. It's, you know, it's 90% water. So there's not a lot of flavor there. So, you know, you have to add the flavor to it. But again, if you're going to use this stuff, go to the Chinese market. to buy it because the grocery stores are just a ripoff. You know, I suppose there is substitutes you could use for this. You know what? Probably one substitute would be romaine lettuce. You could probably use romaine lettuce in here if you use the hearts and didn't saute them too long. You'd be surprised. Romaine lettuce is really good when it's sauteed. Try it sometime. Take a little piece, saute it, and put some sour cream on it. All right, now I'm going to throw all this rest of the stuff into the saute pan. All right, let's get it in. You know, this is one of those things where when I make it, I always make extra. Because you can freeze this stuff and, you know, a month down the road, you go and you buy some more skins and you got it made. Alright, we're going to let that shrink down a little bit before we put in the bean sprouts. Oh, one other thing, we're going to add some ham. Now look, I bought this ham chopped up already, okay? I mean, they wanted 18 bucks for a freaking ham. I ain't paying. So I bought this for $4. And we're going to add this in at the end. The reason why you're going to this up is just to get the moisture out of it. You know, of course, it's already cooked. Here's the shells we're using, the skins. Oh, we also need some glue. Here's what we're using for seasoning. Oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, and black pepper. You know, taste it as you go along. That's one of the main things in cooking, is taste it as you go along. Don't depend on a recipe to tell you how much of something should be in there. Don't do that. Alright, I'm going to add in hoisin, oyster, and soy sauce. All three of those sauces. Okay. Here's what it looks like. It's got all your stuff in there. I've got the sauces. I tasted it. Tastes good. Okay. Now we have to drain it. The bean sprouts will go down by the time it's all over with. You know, they'll wilt some more from the heat. But that's what it is. All right. It's okay to get rid of all that good juice. That stuff is good. But if you don't get rid of it, you're going to end up with some broken skins on the wrappers. You know, wrappers. That will go right through the wrappers. You'll end up holding them. It's not fun. All right. So there we go. We're going to let that sit. Let it drain. You could actually make a sauce out of this. That's good stuff. Okay. Now we're going to let this drain and cool off for a little while. And we'll come back and we'll roll them up. I'll see you in a minute. Put a little hit in there. Don't put too much. Alright, fold the sides in. Roll it. There you go, seal up the edge. I made the glue out of water and flour. Alright. Once it sticks, it's pretty much stuck. Okay, we're just going to fill all these up. We're going to munch on some dynamite rolls. Oh man, we got sauce on up in a minute. I don't know how many rolls in the pack. How many skins are now? I'm going to fill all of them. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to fry them a little bit and freeze them. But you got to fry them a little bit before you freeze them. You're gonna need something. Put on in it. There. You take that, man. Yo, fry you something. You whip these things up. Shit. The sauce is made with pineapple juice, vinegar, peppers, onion. You can probably use a little garlic. It's up to you, whatever you want. You know what I mean? It's your sauce. You make it the way you want. Green onions in it. At the end. Well, I don't make green onions. I use it all in this. But that's right. Because I can always, no, I'm gonna make a lot of sauce, so I'm not gonna use it all. I'm gonna freeze it. So, when you thaw it out and go to eat it again, you can add more green onion. That's another thing. If you're gonna freeze it, you can't thicken it with cornstarch. There's no way. Cornstarch will not, it won't thaw properly. You'll be screwed if you use cornstarch. So don't do it. Now, if I have any filling left, I'm going to freeze it. And like I said, in a month or two, I'll get some more skins and make some egg rolls. There's the thing left now. If you cook like this, you make a lot of stuff and freeze it. It helps if you get a seal meal thing. They're fairly cheap. They're not really expensive. I mean, it really does help if you have one of those things. I think they're like $30. And then you have to buy the bags. Actually, I buy the rolls. I make my own bags. If you buy the roll plastic, you don't need to, you don't, they're not bags, they're rolls. So you can make any size you want, which is kind of good. I mean, I like rolls out of this. Woo! Alright, looks like we have a little bit left. Which is okay. I'll put that in the freezer. Alright. Here we go. Let's fry my things. There's nothing left. Let me put it there. Number 8. Put on hold. So we ended up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We ended up with 20. Ended up with 20. I hate the deep fry, man. This sucks. Fucking sucks. We'll get hot enough. Alright, anyway. For the sweet and sour. Here's what we're doing. We're going to add onion. Okay, remember that that peppers that we had? I do. Here's the peppers that we had from the whatchamacallit. There we go. There's the egg rolls. Wait, let me move this thing out of the way. There we go. Alright. Here's the egg rolls. Here's the peppers we had left from the egg rolls. This yellow one I just had in the refrigerator. With this stuff, with the onions and peppers here, you do not saute it. This is for sweet and sour sauce. Okay, you don't need to saute this. In fact, you don't want to saute it. what's going to go in here is pineapple juice, peppers. You could use green peppers, red peppers, it doesn't matter. Vinegar, sugar. Like I say, you could add a little ginger, you could add a little garlic, it's up to you. Whatever you want to put in there. Alright, it's going to go on the stove. Alright. Let's see how these things look. Oh yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Whoo! Look at them babies. Oh man, that's good shit. Smother these things in whatchamacallit? Sweet and sour. I mean, that's a dinner right there. That's what I'm having for dinner. Egg rolls.